What's going on, boys and girls? It's me, Ben DPB, back with a brand new episode of my Ben Meet series. And today, I've got the one, the only, Dave Azzopardi. How are you, my friend? Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me on as well. It's very warm today. It's like hitting over 25 degrees, so it's a bit sweaty. But yeah, I'm very good, mate.
The less said about Dave being sweaty, the
Yeah,
better.
no.
I must say so much. This isn't that sort of podcast, Dave, just to let you know, mate. Alright. So, how are you then, mate? Apart from being hot and sweaty, you good?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, just ticking along slowly. Yeah, just doing what I do. So yeah.
You got any recording done today at all?
Not today. I've been at work today. A lot of my recording I kind of do on the day, edit on the day, upload on the day. I very rarely have time to schedule things these days, which is a bit annoying at times. But yeah.
Pretty much what I do. So I record on the day, then edit the night after. That's tends
Yeah.
what I do. Because I normally wait till the wife buggers off to bed, try and get an episode or two done, then try and edit the following day then.
Yeah, that's it.
But what I do, mate, is I'll got a couple of icebreaker questions for you, if that's all right.
Okay. Yeah, no worries.
So the first one is always a favourite for me because I love my food, as you can probably tell, look at my physique. But what's your favourite meal? More importantly, what would your last meal be?
Maybe you asked this to Bood, and I was thinking about this because I know he said kind of steak. I don't mind steak. I'm sure if I ate it a lot more, well, I do enjoy steak, but I'd never go out of my way to kind of have it. But why I have a lot, I've always had it like a good burger. I like a burger. Ever since I was young, and I still have it now. Whenever we go to a restaurant, I look at the burger menu. So it's probably going to have to be a burger of some sort.
A beef burger, chicken burger?
Yeah, probably a beef, cheese, and bacon burger. I'd imagine something like that, something along those sort of lines.
I get that sort of stuff when I go to Yates and that.
Yates is.
That's pretty much what I do. It's about as expensive as I get, you know.
Yeah.
I'm an old romantic with the wife, you know, taking down to Yates's, getting the set meal, you know, look after.
Yeah, I went to a pub the other day that I've never been to before. It's like proper pub grub. They've just started doing a lot more of that sort of stuff at the pubs now. But yeah, that's something I'll probably have with chips or something along those lines. I never sort of go out of my way to pay a lot of money for food, unfortunately.
Look after YouTube money, eh?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
So another one for you, what's your favourite TV show?
So I don't watch a lot of TV, to be fair. I never go out of my way to kind of watch a TV programme. But probably the TV show that I watch the most, only because it's probably on every night, is something like Family Guy, something along those sort of lines. But I've probably, all the ones that play now on TV, I think I've watched about 100 times because they're literally always on all the time. But something like Family Guy is probably up there. I can't think of any of it. I've started watching I found a website, the US Office, and that's quite funny. I slowly started getting through those sort of episodes. But yeah, other than that, I don't watch a lot of TV, if I'm honest. No.
So when it comes to films, mate, are you a film connoisseur or?
Again, well, I don't watch a lot of films. Like, I'm not one of these guys to go out my way and say, "Oh, should we watch a film tonight? Should we watch a film?" Or whenever that's mentioned, I never actually end up watching a film. But I'm more of a comedy guy. I could easily get by kind of watching horrors because I'm not like easily scared or get nightmares of that sort of thing. But yeah, I watch comedies, so stuff like, I don't know, I enjoyed stuff like The Hangover, Anchorman, stuff like that. Just some of the old American sort of comedies, which are pretty good. But more sort of obviously like, not like the older classics, more like the more recent ones with a bit more drunken violence and stuff like that in there.
So stuff like Hangover and Knocked Up.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Hangover, to be fair. That's a funny film, that is. I do enjoy that.
Another question for you, the final icebreaker for you. Club versus country, which one are you?
Probably go club, to be honest. Again, similar to when I sort of watch Boots, I'm not too interested in international football. I've never really enjoyed it that much. Probably because England are normally so disappointed at tournaments, you know what I mean? Like, if they started hitting quarterfinals, semi-finals more frequently, I'd probably be more interested in it and maybe my stance would change. But even when I went to England versus Malta, I was supporting Malta in September when I went to Wembley. I knew that England would win, but I'd rather give Malta some support because I'm not that interested in
international. So you're telling me you're an international glory hunter? Is that what you're telling me?
No.
If England start winning, then you'll start following them.
I'll probably take more of an interest in it. Yeah.
No, you're right.
I suppose it could. Yeah, I suppose it's just boring when they're like, you literally go to a tournament and like the last 3 or 4 tournaments, they've struggled to get out of the groups. They do get out of them, but they do struggle.
Well, look at
boring. I just want one tournament to come and just like whip everyone like 2-3 goals every time. then I'll probably be interested in it.
We had that since what, Euro 96? Euro
Yeah,
96 was the last real time when England really kicked in the gear. I mean,
yeah, and that was before I was born, so.
Oh, Dave, fucking hell, mate, chill out.
And,
I was like 12 then, and you weren't even born, bloody hell.
no, that was a year before I was born, unfortunately.
Yeah, let's skip on to the next question, eh? Now, I think the question everybody wants to know. Okay, now we all know that your hair is pretty damn good. It's what one of the things you're more famous for, aside from the excellent content. You know, it is your hair, because let's be honest, we're all fucking jealous of it. So my question is, and it isn't for me because I've got hardly any hair left, but are you ever going to do a how-to guide, a tutorial on how to style your hair?
I don't know. That'll probably be. It's a difficult one. I don't think I could ever just do a one-off video saying hair tutorial. I think you'd get quite a lot of views.
I think it would.
Yeah, but I don't know. Literally, I don't do anything special to it, honestly. Because my hair is naturally straight as it is. Like, you know, a lot of people kind of straighten their hair or have to gel it so it's not curly. Mine is always been naturally straight. So I could just wake up in the morning, have a shower, dry my hair, and literally just put gel and just run it back in my hair, and it stays like that for the majority of the day. So it's pretty easy to do, to be honest. It literally takes me about 30 seconds to do it. So it's nothing special, luckily.
I hate you more than ever now. I've not got any hair to do that, let alone anything else. Now, one thing I want to ask you about is you've got an upcoming walk, haven't you? A fundraiser for Man United.
Yeah, it's well, at the time of recording, it's a week on Monday, but I'm not sure obviously when this is coming out. But yeah, it's going to be on, if I get my calendar up, it's going to be on the 5th of June. And I did it last year, but it was kind of more Easter time, I believe, last year. I think it was the day after Good Friday when I did it. But it's with Jeff Stelling from Sky Sports. And basically what he does I think he's doing it longer this year. I think last year he did basically 10 marathons in 10 days, obviously walking them. But he did it in 10 straight days. So you can imagine, I struggled with one day, so I don't know how he does it for kind of 10 days straight. But yeah, it's just trying to raise money for obviously Prostate Cancer UK, because that's what my granddad passed away with about 6 years ago, I think. But I'd never really taken an interest in it or looked into it or anything like that. So until last year anyway, and it went really well. And I thought it was going to be one of those, because last year, it's to do with the football grounds and stuff. So last year we started at Molineux, obviously the Wall Stadium, and we were walking through kind of, we walked past the we went to the Walsall Stadium, the West Brom Stadium, the Aston Villa Stadium, and then finished at the Birmingham Stadium. And this year is slightly different. It's going to be, I think it's a bit, they're not doing those stadiums. I think it's Kidderminster to Shrewsbury, which is a little bit further out for me. It's probably about 40 minutes away from where I live. But I'm still going to do it. I'll probably expect to see one or two people from last year. But last year when I did it, I just honestly just expected to go there and literally plug my headphones in and do that for like all day. But I don't think I looked at my phone once. Like, it was just weird how, like, even people, I was the youngest one there by far, but I just got on with everyone really, really well. So it's just one of those. So I thought I'd do it again this year and try and get a little bit more money for it as well.
So time of recording, this is 26th of May, just to let everyone know. Yeah. Inside secret. You've raised £628. So in the space of a year, if we put last year and this year together, that's £1,200, nearly £1,300. That's amazing, dude. That's very impressive, you know. Well,
last year we did a very, very quick. I kind of wish I'd prepared it a little bit more, kind of FM Scout Cup. And I said that I was with Full Time FM, and the FM Scout kind of, us two were kind of leading it at the time. Said, it'd be kind of cool if we did like this fundraiser, but like got some of the lads involved. But like we literally thought of the idea, made the logo the same day, and the tournament started the next day. So it was kind of a little bit too quick. I kind of wish I kind of started it, spent a couple of days on the logo, spent a couple of days organising it, then like over a week or so got it all pre-recorded, because it was very hard for me, because I said, I'll edit them all as well, and it was a lot more work than I expected. But that sort of worked out, and I've done a little charity stream and stuff this year, but I know I've got a couple of more donations coming in short term, so I gave myself a target of $750 this year, and I think I'll reach that before the walk anyway, which is good.
That's fantastic. So do you do a lot for charity generally, or was this sort of like, was this more because obviously sad happened to your grandfather?
I don't really do, well, I've never really done much charity. This sort of thing, like, obviously makes me want to do it a lot more, because it's not like, obviously it's a walk and so on, but it's not like I have to go out of my way loads beforehand to prepare everything. I could have done that. Obviously I could have done like an event or whatever, like a ball, and raised like over £1,000 straight away, but you know, I've left it a few months just trying to see if people want to donate. And if my friends do similar things, I know a couple of my friends have done charity events, whether they're doing events and so on, I'll donate 10, 20 quid to them as well, just out of generosity really, because obviously I want to support charities and stuff like that as well. But it's always nice when you're doing the stuff yourself as well and getting other people to support you along the way.
Are we going to get an exclusive here and tell us that you're running the marathon next year?
Oh gosh, I don't know if to be fair, I started the gym a lot more, and I've been doing a lot of running, so I probably could possibly push for that sort of thing, but I don't know if I'd ever like short term be able to do something like that.
It's one of the things that everybody always says. Everybody always says I want to do a marathon one year, but
Yeah,
to run,
I think I probably would, yeah, but I don't know when. I don't know if there'd be a lot of training. Like, I respect anyone that does it like year in year out. To be fair.
I could barely walk to the toilet if I get out of breath. So the fact that I'd have to run 26 miles to me does not sound remotely interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, so obviously you've been in YouTube now for a little while. I mean, obviously it's really kicked in for you the last sort of 9 months or so in terms of subscribers you've gained. I mean, what made you start YouTube in the first place?
I don't know what it was. I feel like I've always been a little bit creative as such on the PC and stuff like that, but I've never I can't remember what it was. Like I started doing kind of like ages ago, like these compilations of stuff, like footballers and stuff like that. So I did a couple of wrestling ones back when I was a lot younger, and one of them even hit like 100,000 views until when all the copyright came a lot strict and it was literally banned worldwide. So I took that off the channel, and then I did a couple of football ones and then just stopped. And over the years, I did the 1 or 2 FM saves and stuff like that, but never really stuck to it. Never really got past 3 or 4 episodes. And then I think it was FM15. I was going around. I was watching a few people. I think at the time it was Mick Mar Jr. I was watching Evolving Mick, and then there was another guy called Atmos Cube, and I watched those 2, and I started my own in FM15 with Burnley, I think it was.
Yeah, it was Burnley.
Yeah, Burnley. I stuck
great
with
memory, by the way. Great memory.
Yeah, I think it was a season and a half I did. And I did fairly well. And it's one of those where I regretted it a little bit. I wish I carried on. Then I stopped and then carried on a few months after. And I believe I did the Maltese save and the Wall save. One next to the other. I got a pretty good memory.
That's very impressive.
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, but obviously, I think I was slowly getting up the subscribers, kind of like towards the 400 mark and stuff like that. And then it really kicked on from FM16, sort of around the November, December, and I think that's when I started hitting 1K, 1.5K, 2K fairly quickly, to be fair.
I mean, you started FM Experiments fairly early on in your YouTube career. I mean, was you one of the first guys out there to really kick into experiments, or was that something? Because I don't know much about YouTube from 2015 for FM. Was there a lot of guys around there doing experiments then?
There was always Golden FM and stuff like that, because they've been like the OGs of experiments and stuff like that. But I started doing a lot more kind of legends experiments kind of things. So like Gerrard at Liverpool and stuff like that. And I don't think anyone had really done that before. They'd done kind of managers linked to jobs before they got the jobs and stuff like that. But I was doing kind of, if I check my playlist, I was doing like the legends back at their clubs, and I did quite a lot of them, and a lot of them did really, really well. So like Sir Alex Ferguson back at United, Dennis Bergkamp at Arsenal, Xavi at Barcelona, stuff like that. And they were getting quite a lot of views and getting a lot of subscribers really, really quick off it, which is always good. If anyone ever wants a really quick burst of subscribers, like I probably wouldn't do it now because of how much the game's quieting down, but at the start of the next FM, over the year, you'll just see views and subs grow just off those sort of videos. But as I say, I was probably the first sort of person to do stuff like that. But there was a lot of people doing other types of experiments, but mainly Golden FM. But as I say, the community back then was much, much smaller than it was now, if I'm honest.
In terms of the quality, do you think the quality was better back then? Because obviously now the amount of content we've got out there, sadly, a lot of the guys we see come on for 4 or 5 episodes, whereas they're not going to hit 30,000 subscribers in a month. And drop off. So back when you started, in terms of the quality, were the guys taking it a lot more serious, shall we say? Or
I think the quality is probably a lot better now, because I think people are a lot more switched on with what equipment they need to use, because there's a lot more people out there kind of pushing it. So obviously One True Nerd kind of a lot helpful with that sort of thing. But yeah, I think people are a lot more switched on with the equipment, and there's a lot more. I don't want to say like competition. You know what I mean, there's a lot more people kind of doing Football Manager content to compare yourself with. So if you're not up to scratch, or if you don't have a decent microphone or webcam or whatever, you're gonna get pushed down the pile quite quickly. So I think a lot more people are switched on about that sort of thing now, and probably a lot of the people that we know of have got half decent microphones. To be fair now, so that's one big step towards a half decent channel anyway.
I mean, talking about microphones and cameras, in terms of giving people advice, would that be one of the things you recommend? A decent microphone?
Yeah, yeah, decent microphone's got to be the top of the list. Camera's not so bad because I think you can get by without a face cam because a lot of people still do that.
If I work the space.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's still working a treat for him. But webcam, if you want one, is decent. I think as long as you get at least a 721, I think it'll be fine. And as long as you game, at least if you're doing Football Manager, as long as your PC can kind of run the match engine rather smoothly, because I've seen quite a few people towards the start at least of FM, and the match engine even on 2D looked really, really choppy. And for me personally, if I was going to watch that, I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't want to see the dots moving like after a second kind of thing before they move again. So as long as your PC can handle and record in fairly smoothly, then I think you're onto a winner.
I mean, your stages in general are pretty damn good, as I'm sure you've been told numerous times. But in terms of the thought process that goes into deciding who you're going to manage, etc., you know, how does that come about for you?
It's random a lot of the time, if I'm honest. So last year, let's see, who did I do that? Because last year was a bit all over the shop with kind of like videos and stuff like that. So I started off with I started a Pentagon challenge, and after 3 videos, I realised that I wasn't really going to enjoy it. And then I did one called Ruling Our Rivals, where that was actually a subscriber suggestion saying that I should just like manage all of Wolves' rivals basically, so like Walsall, Albion, Birmingham, Villa, and stuff like that. So I did that, and then I stopped that after a season. And I did a Blackpool one, which got sacked in last year. And I never really got into that sort of save. And then I think around the January, I did the Ajax Army, which did fairly well. And again, I think I stopped that a little bit too prematurely. I don't know what, I can't think why I picked Ajax, to be honest. I think it was just random, to be honest, that one. But this year, Real Madrid I picked because I thought it was the end. I decided it way before the end of like FM16. Thought I want to start off with a fairly big team next year. I want to go one of the biggest teams, but not English, because I know a lot of people try and go for the Uniteds, the Liverpools, you know what I mean? So I did Real Madrid. It didn't work as well as I would have wanted, to be honest, possibly because the audience isn't there, because they're not English, you know what I mean? So, and then I did Rotherham, mainly because my sister's current boyfriend plays for Rotherham. So kind of just an inspiration. That did really well, a lot better than I thought it would, to be honest, the Rotherham one. Obviously I got sacked and jumped ship to Southampton. And then
you do get sacked a lot, don't you?
I know. I do love a sacking. Then I did the 1860 Munich one, which has been the longest series on my channel. And again, I just wanted someone. I was watching Dare FM. He was doing a save in Germany. It looked really interesting. And I think 1860 Munich, obviously having sharing a stadium with Bayern Munich, but being nowhere near that sort of quality, it was a bit of a challenge for me. And it started off pretty well. I think obviously as the series got on, the interest died down a little bit. So I think it finished sort of in the correct sort of place. And now I'm kind of doing these mini challenge series. So obviously at the moment we've got the Hull City one, where we've started at a custom start date and just going to see with the real life fixtures if we can do a better job than their current manager and keep them up. So yeah, a lot of them ran before. I might just say, for instance, now I'm looking through the internet and I see something about a team. I thought, oh, that might be an interesting one for next year. But some are actually logistically thought through, and some are just absolutely pure kind of luck or just a random thought in my head. So yeah.
Your Real Madrid save, it was a short one, but it's legit one of the more favourite ones I've seen you do. To see you start at Real Madrid, have all these high aspirations, winning the Champions League, winning La Liga.
I put in a load of effort for that as well. Like I did a proper little intro for like 3 of them. And I was like,
all with the shit.
Yeah, I'm sure we beat Barca first episode and that. I thought, go on. Then we got knocked out of the flipping Champions League. We were about 10th in the league. In one game, our keeper got injured. The other one got sent off and one got injured, so I had to put Rooney in goal. So like, it was all over the shop.
It sounds really bad. I love seeing people struggle. I know it sounds bad, but I love it.
sometimes it's better watching that than
It
someone
is.
absolutely blitz the leagues for about 10 years. You know what I mean? So yeah, sometimes it is funny when that sort of things happen because you don't see it a lot. You don't. A lot of people just kind of, as I say, just smash through these games. But yeah, a lot of these I've struggled to be fair. But yeah, it's more interesting for everyone to watch, I suppose.
My little town said the first 2 seasons I just fucking blitzed it.
Yeah,
Smash League 2, Smash League 1. And
yeah.
I first started smashing the championship, but I was like, oh my god, if I smash it again,
It's
people are
gonna
gonna,
look a bit
they're
suspect.
gonna
Yeah,
call me stat. They really are
yeah,
gonna start calling me stat.
yeah,
And then I failed the first season. I was disappointed, but I wasn't over disappointed. The second season I was absolutely distraught about because I got to the playoff semi final
yeah,
and lost. I was absolutely distraught. And obviously this season just gone, in my fifth season I've actually got promoted, which is good to see. Finally
yeah.
in the Premier League. But you know, you're right, I think when you see people blitz it every season, it gets to the stage where it's a little bit boring.
Yeah,
It's
so
all,
in some aspects, sometimes it is a little bit suspect. But yeah, sometimes you're going to go onto an episode and see, oh, how many games has he won in a row this time and stuff like that. But with the sometimes it is quite lucky though. Like League Two and League One are fairly easy leagues to get out of, and Championship, as most people know, is fairly difficult. But if you can get on a good consistent run at the start of the season, you're onto a real winner. Like on the Rotherham one, we did that. First 2 years we really struggled and only just stayed up. The third year we just started really well, ended up in the playoffs and lost in the playoffs. And then the next season we just lost all consistency and we're like bottom of the league, and that's when I got sacked in the end. So it's just getting a decent run together, I think, a lot of the time, if I'm honest. So yeah.
League One and League Two are a piece of piss. I mean, Jack
Yeah.
Marriott was scoring 25, 30 goals a season in League Two, and
Yeah.
then same in League One. In Championship, he didn't do quite so well. I noticed a big golfing difference between League One and the Championship.
Yeah,
You get that in
massive.
real life, but
You saw that. I saw that in real life with Wolves.
I
Like
say even in real life, but even playing the game, the
Yeah.
golfing class between the teams in League One and the Championship was absolute.
Yeah.
And I don't think I quite realised that when I first started. And I was like, fuck, this is actually not
Yeah,
more
a lot
difficult
of
than I thought.
you don't realise it because obviously there's a big difference between Premier League football because these players getting paid 40, 50 grand a week against League One football, and you're getting these sort of League One class players. You jump into the Championship, there's a lot of teams coming down from the Premier League or coming down the year before, or players that aren't quite cutting it in the Premier League coming down to the Championship. Like the level there is just like ridiculously high compared to sort of League One, League Two. So that's why a lot of teams sometimes do find it difficult to stay up and stuff like that as well, especially if you don't have the money. So
So in regards to your YouTube channel, you've got
yeah,
actually numerous saves there. I mean, do you have a favourite save? You've done it to the 1860 Munich, the Ajax save, the Real
I don't
Madrid
know.
save.
I think the Rotherham one was really enjoyable. To
Yeah.
be fair, like I could go home and just like look forward to jumping on that save. 1861 at times, but I think it just dragged on for possibly a little bit too long. The whole one I'm enjoying at the moment because I can kind of. It's not. I don't play any of the games kind of off camera. I'm playing them all on camera, so it's kind of just like whenever I can be bothered to play FM, I'll jump on that save. But yeah, probably the Rotherham one, especially this year, was really really enjoyable for me. Especially I'm not at. I don't think I've had an offline save this year, so yeah, those are the ones that I'm enjoying the most.
I mean, you mentioned about the 1860 Munich save dragging on. For people who
Yeah.
are not content creators, I mean, how do you, as a content creator, know when a save is dragging on for you?
A couple of things really. You can just see it obviously with the lack of interaction or views. Obviously that's a big indication for me. If less people are clicking on the video, then you know something's not quite right there. Either the viewership's just going down or people aren't interested anymore. And it's when you kind of start feeling it's a bit of a chore to play the game. So for when I'm like, oh, I have to upload a video or I have to play Football Manager on this save, I think that kind of starts ringing alarm bells, to be fair. So I think it was starting to do both of those sort of things when I was playing the 80-60 save, because I did well in the last season, but it was getting to a point where if I don't do particularly well now, then I don't think I can carry on much longer because it's just going to be boring the hell out of me to start a brand new year again. So I think it's just an aspect of all those sort of things. You noticing the viewership and interactions going down, and you're kind of you finding it a bit of a chore to play the game as well.
So your end of season review was one that I highly enjoyed. I've actually just started rewatching it again. Is there
Yeah.
plans for that to come back at all?
Probably, yeah. I've spoke about it before. Obviously, there's a lot of people that I did last year that either don't do it anymore or probably won't get on again. Well, quite a few of them don't do it anymore. But yeah, I'll probably do it again, maybe slightly differently. I'm not so sure, but probably use the same sort of questions because it did quite well overall. Just because we never really kind of went off like we stayed on the YouTube topic, if you know what I mean. This is a bit more casual. We're kind of talking about everything. That was quite based on Football Manager and their year on YouTube. So I'll probably do it again because a lot of people like that sort of insight on their favourite YouTubers, that maybe the questions that they want answering that they've never really had answered. So I'll probably have a look at it again, possibly into June, possibly July as well, just to get some more content out there, getting some more people seeing the channel that possibly haven't seen it before as well.
What I liked about that series in particular is the episodes were short and sharp. Unlike mine where it goes an hour. Your interviews were 15 minutes to half an hour long, so short, sharp, straight to the point, and they were great. They were great. They were a little fix you could have on the background while you're playing FM, or as I was doing, while you're doing the washing up, having it on the Bluetooth speakers. I really like that. So interviews like mine normally tend to go on for an hour or so these days, but it's great to see a short, sharp, straight to the point interview. So I'm looking forward to it coming back. When it comes to your guests, though, how do you decide, or how do you know who you want to be a guest? Do you get people approach you, or I know in the early days you asked people, who do you want to see come on my show?
Yeah, there was that, and there were people that a couple on there. So I think around the time it was, I was pretty close with Full Time FM, so he was the first one that came on there, and there was a couple of other people that I had contact with. So I approached the first few people, but I did one with Toxic Lemon. I believe the day I was going on a holiday, or something along those lines, Dr. Benji liked it, and I thought, wow, because like I didn't know if Benji viewed my video. He may or may not have, and so I spoke to him and I said, it'd be good to get you on sometime. Just an open question. He goes, yeah, I'd love to. So that's the way I got Benji on. And then from there, I asked him who you reckon. He goes, someone like Proudy, Work the Space, and so on. So I got all of them on as well. And it worked out pretty well. Probably want to get, again, that was the sort of thing where I just did really, really quickly. And I was editing like 3 or 4 in a night, which is fair enough to do. But I don't want to just spam my YouTube and sub boxes with these sort of videos. I want to try and spread them out if I can as well, alongside other series.
Fantastic. Now, obviously, when it comes to watching YouTube, do you get to watch much YouTube these days?
See, I've got the time to, but I don't probably watch as much as I should do. I still watch a couple of people, FM-wise. But yeah, I don't watch that much YouTube, if I'm honest. Similar to TV and stuff like that. To be fair, when I speak about this, I actually don't know what I do on my days, because I say I don't watch TV, I don't watch films, I don't watch YouTube. I actually don't know what I do myself these days.
I mean, Booth and I spoke about it, and a lot of guys have spoken about it in the past. When you play FM as much as we do, and you record and you edit, sometimes it's just like, do I really want to sit down now and watch
someone else do it? Yeah.
Before I did YouTube, I religiously watched guys like you play FM, guys like Second Yellow Card, but now I don't watch Sage as much as I used to, which I do miss a little bit. There's certain guys like Loki Doki that I do watch religiously because they're just content is fucking shit on, and guys like you, your 1860 Munich save or your Rotherham save, and I've just got into your whole save, which is great. But I don't watch as much as I used to, which is a
it's annoying because like there are good people out there, and I'd literally, if I didn't do this sort of thing, I'd take the time to go and watch them. But especially with sort of like Loki's uploading almost daily, it's really hard to keep up to date with. I watched the first few of those, but it was really hard once you're like 5 or 6 episodes behind. It's quite a lot to get back through, so it is a little bit annoying on that front. But yeah.
Recently, we've seen a lot more guys do streaming. Is that something you'd look to do more in the future, perhaps?
Well, yeah, I kind of built a new PC to kind of base around that, because at the end of last FM, I used to watch a lot of streams, and basically I've kind of thought I'd love to do this alongside my YouTube videos. So at the start of FM, I did a lot of streaming, like a few hours an evening or quite a few hours over a weekend, and I kind of just burnt myself out on that. And I thought I played so much FM. At the start of this FM, I probably played, like, at the start of this FM when I was streaming, I probably already played the same sort of amount that I played for the second half of the last FM, which was like ridiculous in a few weeks. So I kind of burnt myself out on the stream, and I kind of got bored of it in the end. I've still got all the equipment and everything to do it, and it's probably something I'll look at again at the start of Next FM or in the summer. But at the moment, it's just getting the time to do it. I've discovered some other games on the PC as well, which I probably more spend my time playing rather than streaming. You got to allocate yourself a few hours to stream, and at times I just like to chill out and play for half an hour or an hour rather than sat down for 3 hours listening to music and talking to other people. Sometimes, yeah, you do need to allocate yourself quite a bit of time, and sometimes it is, especially after a long day at work, you just want to be able to chill out and do what you want rather than sat down at your PC for 3 hours.
Now, I know you don't watch as much YouTube as you would like, but do you have any channels, say, under the sort of 200 subscriber mark that you could recommend to us? I know you did a lot of work with FM Scout, so do you know any hidden gems out there?
There's someone that I've been speaking to a lot recently. Let me just double check if he's under 200 though.
If he's not, if you're
do at 233. Jay Taylor.
Yeah.
He's called Jamie J Taylor 1409. And he's from sort of the same neck of the woods as me. And he's doing something a little bit different. A Stuart Bucharest save.
Very interesting.
In Romania. And he's doing really, really well. But it's annoying with that sort of thing, isn't it? It's because it's quite an obscure country. He's not getting the viewership as he probably should, especially with how well he's doing. So it's someone like that I really recommend if you want something a little bit different. You can go and check him out, and he's like a fairly low subscriber rate. So he's probably one of the only ones kind of that sort of numbers that I've been watching recently, if I'm honest.
Well, there you go, guys. Check him out. If he's been recommended by Dave, you know he's pretty good. No pressure there, Jake. Do you know what I mean? So check him out. Now, one question, it's actually one of the favourite questions I like asking because you get lots of different answers, and a lot of you guys are extremely honest when it comes to these sort of questions. Wolfie was very honest, which I really enjoyed. But what do you see as your good and your bad points as a content creator, if you have any?
I'll say bad points. I think I'm fairly lazy with that sort of thing, like with the YouTube thing. I mean, with editing wise, I literally, if you see some of the people, the editing they do and still kind of bash out the amount of content they do, like, it's very, very good. But I just literally record all in one go and just kind of cut everything out. The most effort I make with a video is normally the thumbnail. So, yeah, it's probably something like I'm pretty lazy on that sort of front. Good things, I mean, as I say, I make okay thumbnails, I suppose.
Dave, come on. Come on.
No, they're pretty basic though. I'm sure like anyone with half decent kind of Photoshop ability will
but
be able
you know
to
they're
do.
not okay though, be honest. Don't try and be monster. You know they're not okay. You know everyone. You know your thumbnails are fairly popular. Hence why I know people badgered you in the past to do some tutorials to make thumbnails.
Yeah.
So come on, Dave.
Oh, my thumbnails are decent.
There you go.
No, I think I speak fairly well, like quite confidently, because obviously there's people that speak really quiet like this. But yeah, I speak fairly well in front of the camera and with the microphone. I suppose I've got some half decent ideas, like different series ideas. I don't kind of just go for the mainstream ones, which I don't see a problem with that, but I think that's kind of a unique thing about my channel. There's things that you don't normally see on other people's channels. And I can't really think. What have other people said? Good and bad points?
A lot of guys have said pretty much what a lot of guys have said regarding their upload schedule. A lot of them have said that they don't upload as much as they would like to.
I think I'm pretty decent on my upload. I don't have a fixed upload schedule, but I upload a lot if I think about it. I probably in my head don't think I upload a lot, but I'll probably upload at least 4 to 5 videos a week, which is still
which
quite...
to me is perfect.
Yeah. It's not one every day. There's still kind of a gap day and for people to catch up. So
like I said, I love low-key, but when like I said, if you miss an episode or two, you're fucking fucked. Do you know what I mean? You have to binge sort of 4 or 5 in one go.
But yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with my schedule on that front, if I'm honest. There is times where I really struggle to get a video out, and it's kind of annoying, but I think I've done fairly well recently. At some points, I was literally uploading 5 or 6 a week, but I think 5 a week's a good amount for an FM sort of channel. It just gives people the chance to catch up and stuff as well.
Do you have any plans yet for FM18?
I had a few ideas. I wanted Birmingham to get relegated because I had a good save idea for them. But I know I was a Wolves fan, so it was kind of a double bonus there. But at the moment, I did have a couple of plans. Can't remember off the top of my head, but Yeah, there'll be definitely a save. I might just go straight into it. I tried a beta save last year, but I might just go straight into it, or at least do a save up until December and then start another one again. But until FM18 now, I'm probably going to do these sort of mini challenge series with real life scenarios because I seem to do well. The whole one's doing really well, so we'll see how the next one goes. Try and keep them English based and possibly do a couple of abroad ones. But I know for next year at least, my first save will definitely be based in England. Rather than going abroad again.
Well, the great thing about your whole challenge, for example, it's something that nobody else is doing. You know, where we've all seen Arsenal, we've all seen Liverpool, we've all seen Man United, etc. We've all seen this now. So to try and find something that nobody else is doing is pretty damn hard.
Yeah.
And nobody else is doing the challenge, which is great. So I'm a big fan of it, and I'm glad to hear that you're going to be looking to do maybe other leagues or other situations. That's quite interesting.
Yeah. Dog. Let me just open this door for him.
Tell your girlfriend to be quiet. Fucking hell.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, you spoke about your man Jay as a recommended YouTube on the lower subscriber count, shall we say? But do you have any other guys, maybe middle to large range, that you recommend? I know you don't watch as much as you would like.
Yeah. Well, if I just kind of list the people that I watch, so obviously I used to watch Teach FM. He's stopped now. He's having a bit of a break after his Man U save. I think he uploaded about 100 days running or something crazy. I used to watch him a lot. And again, he didn't do anything too complex or too in depth. He just did the game, how he plays it, and show people, which I enjoyed. It was kind of a chilled out approach. I've started watching Dare FM. As I say, I used to watch him. He's just started a new save, so I'm going to be keeping tabs on that. It's in Argentina. Curti FM I watch. I get on well with Chris as well. He's got his older shot save at the moment. I kept up to date with his Arsenal save as well. Any other football manager stuff that I watch? I watch Boods every now and then. But other than that, I probably don't watch that much FM, if I'm honest. I keep up to date with like the FM Scout sort of stuff because obviously I'm on FM Scout, so I see what sort of videos are on there. But kind of Let's Play series, they're kind of the only ones that I'm watching in and out at the moment.
I mean, you used to run FM Scout way back in the day.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of work that must go into that is insane. I know Boone looks after it now, but the amount of work that must go into making sure guys are recording content, getting it over to you, proofing it as well. I mean, in terms of the work that goes into it, is that a lot more than people may realise behind the back of the scenes?
I think it's a lot better now because we've got a lot more guys kind of that know what they're doing and are a bit in command. Last year when I was in charge, it was a bit up and down because a lot of people were dropping and there was only like 2 or 3 of us at one time until we kind of got it picked up and had to do a thing and that. But I'm sure Stan can agree. Stan gives you, if you take control of that, Stan will give you a lot of control and kind of want you to do a lot more things for him, which is sometimes a bit too much. But I think now, especially with Bood, we've all got a schedule. We all know what days need doing, and we all know what sort of videos we're after. So I think if Bood ever has to stress about anything, it's only if someone does a really crap video or doesn't upload a video. So Bood's got it all sorted. He had everyone on the schedule. The only reason I kind of stepped down was because I didn't want to put myself out to be the leader and just go for the start of FM17. I didn't want to spend 2-3 of my days trying to sort out a tutorial for FM Scout. I kind of wanted to focus on my own channel a little bit. But now I said I'll come back if I ever see the situation changes, and it has, and I'm happy for Boot to carry on kind of in charge because it takes a lot of stress off me personally, and I can just be one of these people that uploads a video a week for him. So, which I don't mind too much because it's a video a week. It's not like it's a massive commitment anyway. So yeah.
When it comes to uploading a video for FM Scout, there are so many FM experiments out there. How do you come up with the idea for a brand new experiment? Because Boo's spoken to me about doing some videos for FM Scout.
Yeah.
And I've come up with ideas. I look at the page, somebody else has done it. So trying to come up with an idea that somebody else hasn't already done is fucking hard.
Yeah, a lot of the time it is very, very hard, and it's very hard to be unique. Sometimes you might have to duplicate the whole experiment, do everything the same. Sometimes you can tweak something a little bit different just to make the video almost totally different. But sometimes it is a real stroke of genius. You could just be walking down the street and think, hold on, that'd be funny, or that'd be interesting to see what would happen with that. And I think that's something that Jen Caldo's come into the community and he's done that to a T. Like, he's done an FM Scout video. What and if Scottish TV money was changed with English TV money? I'm like, that's absolutely genius. And how has no one thought of that before? But that's the sort of video that's going to get you 20k views plus, because it's just interesting to see how much that sort of thing would affect football. So sometimes it is just having a footballing brain, looking at different scenarios, just thinking outside the box a little bit. As I say, you could go with the simple ones of players at different clubs during the transfer window and so on, because there's always going to be unique stories every day on that sort of front. But the ones that do well, especially towards the start of the game, are the ones where you can just try and think outside the box a little bit.
If somebody was to start YouTube or some of a smaller channel, how should they decide who they want to be? Because I think a lot of guys are now trying the journeyman save, and the problem with that is it's getting lost in the shuffle. I'm sure you'd agree.
Yeah. Journeyman saves are always popular. I used to do a lot of journeyman saves offline. I've never kind of thought about doing one online. Obviously up until these sort of guys are doing it. Obviously your Benjis and Lokis and so on. So I probably won't go on to do it now. But as I say, I'd probably go for the team to support, local team, just first time, and then from there, if you want to start doing another save, it's just another save. Like if you spend an hour or so just looking at different scenarios or different teams, different sort of challenges, just to have a look. Because I think you did a Sir Alex Ferguson save, didn't you? And that's the sort of thing that people like, and different sort of challenge that you don't see very often as well.
That was my favourite save. I lost it. I was absolutely distraught. I got Sunderland, and I absolutely fucking smashed it. And then I started the second season, was smashing that, and I got Manchester Martial for £35 million in like 11 games. He scored about 15 goals for me. Yeah. And then I got like a crash dump, and the save failed and wouldn't load back up, and I wasn't doing rolling saves. I just like an idiot. I had like a single file save. Because I've never ever had an issue where I'd lost saves before. I'd had crash dumps, but I'd never had a cell just save fucking disappear. And I couldn't load the save, and I was absolutely destroyed. That was one, and it wasn't long after that I sacked off YouTube, because like I said, I tried other saves. I was so annoyed that I'd lost my strength focus.
Yeah, I'd be annoyed at that as well.
Because at the time, you know, it was fairly popular. A lot of people were blogging about doing Sir Alex Ferguson challenge. And I thought, as long as I don't get someone like Watford as a Luton Town fan, I'll be happy. You know, so to get I got Stoke. I got Stoke.
They're not bad teams, though.
And Stoke was cracking. They had Bojan, Arnautovic, they had Jack Butland. Then Muniesa was an absolute beast in the centre of defence. It was a really, really good team. Charlie Adams was a monster. He's about 35 years old. He wasn't getting a game under, I think it was Pulis or Hughes, but I came in and turned him as an absolute machine for me. So to lose that save, actually, it sounds really fucking egotistical, but I rewatched my Sir Alex Ferguson save about a month ago, and I had to turn it off halfway through. I was thinking, why am I torturing myself watching a save that I can never play again? Yeah. Now, the FM question aside, if we look into PC gaming or just computer gaming in general, are you a PC or console gamer?
I'm mainly console. Well, I used to be, but because of FM and stuff, I'm mainly PC now. Especially because I know we'll speak about it shortly, but I built myself a fairly decent PC so I can play other games on that as well. But before, especially before I was doing FM YouTube, I was mainly console based. I was literally on the console every day, if I'm honest. So yeah. But now, as I say, I think it's switched more over to the PC, because I rarely touch a console these days.
Did you build the PC literally yourself?
Yeah, just literally got the bits and did it. I'd never done it before. It was scary, but I thought I was definitely going to break something. But yeah, luckily it went all to plan, and it's still surviving, so it's doing all right.
One of the benefits of having a PC over a console is you can update the graphics, you can update the RAM, and you update.
Especially when you build it yourself, I mean, because you can do all your kind of everyday stuff like browsing the internet and stuff. Where obviously you can do it on the consoles, but it's not as practical.
Of course.
But yeah, as you say if I think, you know what, I'm not going on my PS4 as much. I want to start playing FIFA. I can just go and buy extra RAM and stuff like that, as you say, and just make the PC an absolute beast. Because a lot of people can make a lot of people do have PCs way more powerful than consoles to play like ridiculously good games.
I think people don't realise just how powerful their PC may be. I didn't realise before that my PC is quite so powerful until my friend came round to fix it. And I never looked into playing certain games like Witcher 3, Fallout 4 on the PC, so I just assumed that my PC couldn't handle it. I'm so used to having a laptop that could barely run Football Manager let alone play anything else. And now I've got so many other games on my PC that I don't play my Xbox. I haven't touched my Xbox in months. It just sits there because I play Fallout, Witcher, all those sort of games. I just play on my PC rather than my Xbox. Now the graphics are better as well.
Yeah,
I think so anyway.
Yeah, well, you can see it a lot more better on a kind of smaller scale on a good monitor as well. They work quite well.
What other games do you play on the PC apart from FM, of course?
So on the PC, obviously I play FM, and then when I was playing with Dupe and Teach, they introduced me to a game called Daisy. Well, I played it before with Dupe, but as soon as Teach built his PC and started playing, I thought I'd play it a lot more because there was more of us to play. And it's kind of like I think it's a Russian kind of island, and it's been taken over by zombies. And literally at the start, you spawn in with nothing, just a pair of clothes on, and that's it. So it's like a village, and there's zombies around. And obviously, if you get close to the zombies, they'll come and attack you. But you can kind of loot these houses and basically build yourself up, and it's just survival really. So you need to find yourself apples to eat or a well to drink water. And you're in service, so there's other people there. So the other people can either talk to you and be friendly and kind of help you, or they could just literally, you could walk at someone and they could shoot you dead. So it's just a survival game really on that front.
Daisy is an awesome game. It's a really good game.
Yeah. So I played that a little bit, but now we've been introduced to that Battlegrounds, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, and I think a lot of people were playing like H1Z1, King of the Kill and all that. But then this came in, and I thought I'd never be interested in that sort of thing, but literally I'm like always itching, ready to play it because it is really, really good. Again, it's similar sort of aspect to Daisy, but you start off in an aeroplane, you've got to mark yourself a point, and you kind of just parachute out and land somewhere along with other people, and it's basically the last man or duo or last squad standing. Again, you go into houses and loot things, but the thing what they do to make the game like end a lot quicker is they reduce the area where you have to be throughout the game, so you have to check your map at all times really, and if you're not in the area you'll get bombs dropped on you and all that sort of stuff. But it is quite good. It's real heart racing stuff. Like I was just now before the interview, I was in a house with someone else and I went to shoot him, totally missed, and he shot me. And like in real life my heart was absolutely racing for about 10 minutes. Like it's just weird how much it does that. But other than those two on PC and Football Manager, I don't play that. I'll play a little bit of FIFA on the console every now and then, but I haven't played that much recently. But other than that, I only play those sort of games. But that's mainly because obviously I've got other people to play them with as well.
Do you have any plans to bring any other games to your channel, or is it going to be purely FM?
So I did a little bit of FIFA this year, but it's a lot especially when it's on my PS4, it's a lot to record. It's set the Elgato up because I don't have my PS4 in my room. It's downstairs, so I'd have to bring it up every time. So I do that, set the Elgato up, start recording and stuff. And obviously for FIFA, you don't just play one game, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if you do, it's still quite a bit of editing. I played 3 games, so each file was over an hour long. I had to trim it all down to try and make it like into a decent 15-minute episode. So it's quite difficult on that front. So in the end, it became a bit of a chore to play that. I think if I could get the right sort of recording software for my PC, I'd probably look at doing something like that, like Battlegrounds videos or something, but I'd have to just double check and kind of trial with all my recording stuff as well.
In case people don't know, I'd be amazed if they don't. You know, Wolverhampton Wanderers fan for your
That's
sins.
it. Yeah,
I'm assuming you support Wolves because that's where you come from, or was it because of a family reason, or?
Yeah, it's mainly from where I come from, really. I think my family, Maltese, they're all kind of more United fans. They've all got a massive Manchester United fan base over there and stuff like that. So it's kind of more where I'm from. And I didn't actually I never really went to many Wolves games up until the last couple of years, if I'm honest. So it is mainly because of family, or friends from a younger age, to be fair. So yeah, it's a lot. I don't live far from the stadium at all, so ease of access as well to get there.
Well, we've recently seen you on the internet, being a bit of a sensation at the Wolverhampton games. You were interviewed outside the ground, weren't you?
Yeah, there's a couple. I've had 2 people now ask me for pictures outside the ground now, which is a bit weird because I never thought that sort of thing would happen. But I get a lot of people. I think I started doing the vlogs. I thought I went to an away game at Newcastle, and I thought it's quite a unique opportunity. We may not play Newcastle again for a couple more years, especially if they get promoted. So I'll do a vlog on it, and it went down really, really well, especially with kind of the fan base out on my channel now. So I thought, you know what, I'll try it out for a home game. And luckily, I think the next home game was like Sheffield Wednesday. Or Derby or something like that. So teams with decent fan bases, and it just kind of shot up from there really. And a lot of them, some of them obviously getting like maybe 500, 600 views, but a lot of them getting like over 1,000 views, which is good. And I've met a lot more subscribers off it and stuff like that as well. So yeah.
Would you ever want to do a Wolverhampton Wanderers save? I know you did one for your FIFA, but would you ever want to do a Foot Manager?
I probably will. That is one of the possibilities next year.
We've got an exclusive.
Yeah, that is. I don't know though. I want to do a wall save, but I don't know if I'll be that into it. I don't know. It's a weird one. Because I like the kind of squad as it is at the moment. I'll probably change it so much that like it'll be like
you'll butcher it.
Yeah, I'll butcher it a lot, and it'll almost be like unnoticeable. I won't know anyone in the team at one point, so it'll become kind of like a team I know and support to something that I've never ever seen before. So yeah, I don't know if I'll do it like that.
So what's your views on the way Wolverhampton Wanderers have performed this season, and how you finished the season altogether, and also your manager, or rather lack of?
Yeah, I think it was below average season for us. I think we obviously had a takeaway, which happened very, very late. Takeaway? What am I on about? Takeover. I was thinking about food.
Takeaway, yeah.
Takeover quite late in the summer. So we rushed a lot of things, and we appointed a manager the day of our last pre-season friendly, which was Walter Zenga, which obviously, me personally, I know a lot of older football fans may have heard of, but I'd not heard of him. And I don't think he was doing too bad. He was doing okay. I think he was sacked. People expected him to be sacked, but I think he was sacked possibly a tiny bit too early. But he was very passionate about the club and so on as well. And then we brought in Paul Lambert, who at the time was probably the best of a bad bunch of managers. And he did okay. I think his FA Cup, if he didn't have a good FA Cup run this season, he would have been sacked before the end of the season, I'd imagine. But he did. We were in relegation trouble at one point, winning 5 wins in a row, and we got fairly safe. And then now, all of a sudden, apparently there's been a disagreement with Lambert and our board, because we've got that Jorge Mendes kind of helping us with our transfers and so on. Cristiano Ronaldo's agent, so he's got a lot of players on his books. So now we've been linked with a guy called Nuno Santo, who was the ex-Porto manager, and he managed Valencia a couple of years ago as well. So he's not a bad manager. He's got a good track record. So yeah, I'd be interested to see that. Again, I think a lot of fans last year, because we had a lot of money, we spent a lot of money, we're expecting kind of top 6 straight away. But as in football, it does take a lot for a team to gel and so on. So I was expecting kind of mid-table, and in the end, we sort of finished in and around there. So I wasn't too surprised. It was just the way that we did it kind of thing. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how we do next season. I think with a new manager, again, we might have a similar sort of story, but hopefully some more attractive football and possibly a push towards the playoffs as well.
And there we go, boys and girls. Another episode of Ben Meets Over, with an absolutely belting episode there, delving into the evil mind of the evil genius, Dave Azzopardi. We spoke about his hair, we spoke about FM Scout, we spoke about future how-to guides to do your hair. So absolutely belting interviews, and thank you very much for your time, my friend. It's truly appreciated.
No problem. Thank you for having me on, mate.
Now, if you want to give yourself a little shout out, your social media, my friend, please feel free to do so.
Yeah, you can follow me over on my Twitter, which is at Dave Azzopardi with the FM at the end. Obviously my YouTube as well, which obviously a link will be in the description. I'm currently doing a haul save at the time of this uploading, and maybe onto the second series of these sort of real life scenarios now. But if you enjoy what you see, maybe click on a couple of videos, drop a like, and obviously subscribe if you fancy seeing more of that sort of stuff.
And you guys have been watching me, Ben DPB. Thank you all for your love and support. It's been an absolute pleasure. But don't forget, before we go, Dioch.